The house that never existed. If you've ever driven through the mountains of Colorado at night, you know the silence. But what if you passed a house that wasn't supposed to be there, and when you returned the next day, it had never existed? It was October 21st, 2019, when Sam and Erica, a young couple from Chicago, decided to take a fall road trip through the Rockies. They had planned every detail: scenic routes, Airbnb stops, even hot cider spots. They weren't thrill seekers. They liked calm, nature, silence. On the third night of their trip, they were driving on Highway 285, somewhere between Fairplay and Buena Vista, when fog began to roll in, thick, low, like ocean waves crashing against the road. Erica, behind the wheel, slowed down as visibility dropped to just a few feet. They were supposed to arrive at their cabin by 8 p.m., but by 9:30 the GPS stopped responding. The screen froze. Then it shut off completely. "Battery's fine," Sam muttered, tapping the screen. They drove on in silence until they saw something that should not have been there: a light. It was faint at first, yellow, flickering, coming from behind a line of dark pine trees. As they got closer, the fog broke just enough to reveal a large Victorian-style house sitting back from the road, gated by rusted black iron. Candles flickered in the windows. The porch light was on. There were no other houses for miles. Erica hesitated. "That's not on the map." Sam leaned forward. "Maybe it's a bed and breakfast, or someone who helps stranded travelers?" The mailbox read, "M.C. Braxton, Est 1896. They parked by the gate and walked up the creaking wooden steps. Before Sam could knock, the door slowly opened. Standing there was a woman, tall, pale, with black lace gloves and a long dress that brushed the floor. "You made it," she said calmly, as if expecting them. Our GPS died. We were just wondering if—" "You're just in time for tea," she said. Her voice had the eerie warmth of an old vinyl record. "Do come in." And they did. The interior was museum perfect. Oil paintings in gold frames, velvet furniture, an old grandfather clock ticking softly, walls lined with books and gas lamps. Everything smelled of cedar, lavender, and something faintly burnt. At the dining room table sat 4 other guests. None of them spoke as Sam and Erica entered. They just watched and smiled. There was an old man in a brown suit, a girl no older than 10 in a white nightgown, a woman in pearls, and a teenage boy with pale eyes. "Take a seat," the host gestured. As they sat, a tea set was brought out, ancient, porcelain, cracked. The tea was already poured. Erica reached for her cup, but Sam noticed something. The steam rose backwards, not up, but curling into the cup. The host noticed his stare. "It's a family blend, quite grounding." They sipped. The room fell into a strange calm. The old man leaned in. "You two married?" he asked, though his mouth barely moved. Erica nodded slowly. "Good, good. It's important. Togetherness. We don't get many together ones anymore." The girl in the nightgown giggled. "Last ones didn't stay long. They screamed too much." "Excuse me?" The boy leaned back in his chair, his voice flat. "What year do you think it is?" Sam frowned. 2019. They all paused. The host smiled again. "Oh no, it's been 2019 for a very, very long time here." A grandfather clock rang 10 chimes. The air shifted. The paintings on the walls seemed to ripple like water. Erica turned toward the window. The fog had returned, but now it pressed against the glass like it wanted in. Sam stood up. "We really should go." "But you just got here," the host said softly, "and the house doesn't like early departures." Suddenly the lights went out. Silence. When they turned back on, the 4 other guests were gone. Only their teacups remained, filled with black liquid that bubbled without heat. Sam and Erica ran. They burst through the front door, across the lawn, but the car was gone. Only their footprints in the snow remained. Behind them the house stood still, lights glowing. From the upstairs window the little girl waved. Then they turned and ran down the road. After what felt like hours of walking in total darkness, they saw headlights, a state patrol car. The officer, confused and concerned, listened as they tried to explain. "There's no house like that out here. Haven't been any homes on this stretch since the 40s. A mudslide wiped them all out." Sam insisted. "Check our GPS. We stopped right at—" "You said M.C. Braxton," the officer said slowly. He scratched his chin. "There's a record of an old Braxton estate up here. It was abandoned in 1931 after the family vanished. No bodies were ever found. Whole thing burned down a year later." Erica looked at Sam. He looked back. They never spoke of it again. 2 years later, Sam received an envelope in the mail. No return address. Inside, a photo, aged and grainy. It showed a dinner table, 5 guests sitting. At the head, the host, M.C. Braxton. On the right side of the table, a young man and woman holding hands.